So for this,
so for this,
another lip.
Yes.
Love the lip.
So for this one, well, it's interesting because Naeem's inspiration for the actual collection for the clothes was Frida Kahlo and Mexican folk art. So you'll see like a lot of beautiful embroidery in the clothes, and if you see the hair, the hair is sort of an obvious reference to Frida Kahlo. So we felt like if we did anything, an eyebrow or too red on the lips, that it became very too literal and almost like too costumey. So we were talking about maybe like the girls, it's almost like the girls are getting themselves ready, so they're less finished. We were talking about Vanessa Paradis, and she actually doesn't, she does her own makeup when she gets ready for the red carpet. She's really sort of laid back and casual, and it was like that spirit of, a girl who just sort of, throws a little lipstick on and like gets in this really incredible gown and like goes out. So for the eyes, we did South Beach Multiple, which is a really beautiful coppery color, and we sort of shaped the eye a little bit more round, so it has this sort of like dreamy, halo effect on the eyes. And then we set a little bit of Lola Lola on top of it, which is like a chocolatey shimmer, and basically it's in place of liner. We used the darker shadow around the lash line to create more depth on the eye, and then we blended it with our finger so it didn't look too finished. And we're actually, right before the girls walk, I'm going to take a little bit of lip gloss just right on right at the lash line, so the eye gets a little bit more wet looking. It's sort of as a play on the texture. There's some really beautiful beaded, and there's some even like mirror reflective pieces in some of the clothes, and it's a big runway, so that little bit of sheen on the eyes really helps. Skin, we did like really nice massages with NARS Skin moisturizer and just a little bit of Sheer Glow liquid makeup. So just where the girls need foundation, we didn't want them to have like an obvious, too matte or too much coverage. We wanted the skin to be very transparent, really thin, not too powdery, just a little bit of powder in the center of the face. Nothing on the brows except brow gel to brush them up. So, because if we did anything, any brow at all, the joke was like, what should we do, like a unibrow? But I don't think that was a good idea. And then for the lips, we did two of the satin lip pencils, Hyde Park and You, and basically you can really see it on the face chart. What we're doing, like we're sort of staining the lip, leaving the satin texture in the center, powdering around the edge, and then building the color up a few times. Slightly different on every girl, but the tone of color is more important than like it looking exactly like a lipstick. We didn't want it to look too finished.
So you didn't line at all?
We didn't line. So we actually sort of started everything from the center of the lip, like a wine stain, and then moved it out with the finger, powdered about half the lip, and then did the next combo. So maybe 2 or 3 layers. So I think I probably won't end up touching it up that much because I don't want it to all of a sudden look like lipstick, as we're doing, lineup. So it's more like an impression or like a wash or like a remnant of color than a really hard edge. But I think these colors look good on everybody too. Like they're slightly blue, like raspberry colors really look great on everybody. They look good on the really darker girls, they look good on the really pale girls, and everyone in between. So it's like a really good color to wear. Something about them, because they're blue, I think they have the feeling of your lip tone, even though it's not natural looking, but it's something about blue tones have that bitten, or you had a glass of wine, or your lip is chapped. I always like when my lips are chapped, not the way they feel, but I like the color when they're chapped. But it's just, it's more color than that though. Maybe 2 times as much as a chapped lip.
So there's no defined lines. Everything's all smudged out.
Yeah, really smudged. Well, because I think I think it was just, if we did that, I think Frida was really more about lipstick and her brows, but it was just I think about giving too much heaviness to the eye. That also I think makes it makes the lip look like more lipstick. Do you know what I mean? It was almost like the eye is. It's not bare, it's defined, but being a little bit more on the softer side, I think makes the lip have more of a focus because it's really more about the lip than the eye.
Yeah, and because there was no mascara.
We did do mascara.
Oh, did
yeah,
you?
just a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit. We did lengthening mascara. So just to give the girls some definition, but not to look too mascara-ish.
Okay.
So a couple questions.
Yeah.
You used the multiple on the eye. Did you also use that same
We didn't. So we actually didn't do any color or shading on the skin. It was really more about the texture. It was really about like moisturizer and, keeping this part of the skin really like transparent so that it would have more of a glow. It didn't seem right to add like color on the cheeks with the eye and the lip. It seemed like it would have made it too makeup-y. And we really just wanted the skin to look like, their skin. So not like they were wearing makeup or not like they had like an obvious thin, like not too matte, not too sparkly. That was sort of why we just left the skin clean.
And then the Lola, you said you used it kind of as a liner. Did you use a brush at all, or you just smeared it?
No, we just with like I used like a big eyeshadow brush so that it wouldn't put a hard edge, and then we blended it out with the finger. So it was, and we did add a little bit of powder on the like loose powder to make the eye a little bit more transparent, and that'll also just help because we're gonna pop a little, lip gloss on the eye right before for sheen. It just helps to give it something to stick to, so it doesn't like slide all over.
Now, I've been seeing the multiple used a lot so far this season. And would you call that like if you had one product this season?
I think the great thing about the multiples is that you can use them on the eyes, the cheeks, the lips, and they're easy and they're fast. I think when Francois created them, he was really onto something. And we actually for spring have a whole new collection of multiples coming out that I can't talk about more than that. But you can. That's all I can tell you. Otherwise, I'll have to kill you.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very exciting. I think it's funny because everybody does those sort of multi-use products now, but Francois was the first to do it. And I still think there's like not, there are none better than ours. Have to say it. Let's see. Oh, here's the finish. You can see the finished look.
Oh, good.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you? Fish eggs? Yeah, maybe a little. Like maybe less of the Lola, little less of the Lola. Yeah, it's too I think it's just too much eyeshadow. You just have to thin it out. And let me see. And then I think with the lip too. Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you.